So Hoop Venue made this video called Luka versus the Celtics made one thing very clear. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what that one thing is. So shout out to Hoop Venue. Links will be in the description for his video. But phenomenal game. I want to see how he analyzed it.
NBA's most recent MVP ladder, Jason Tatum moved ahead of Luka Doncic for spot number 4.
Okay.
And that little change has sparked quite the debate. You've got the Boston fans who rightfully point to the historic season that the Celtics are having, highlighting Tatum's ability to drive the ship forward as a two-way superstar. But then on the other side, you have those who point to Luka's individual brilliance as an offensive mastermind, making a Mavs team competitive despite struggling with injuries, role players consistently not showing up, whatever the case may be. Last night...
You know what? I'll say it on this platform because I know what'll happen if I say it on Twitter. The Luka Jason Tatum debate really reminds me of what the debate was. Not to say that they're the same players, but in terms of the arguments for each player, it reminds me of what the conversation was around Kobe and LeBron in the late 2000s, right? Because the conversation with LeBron and Kobe was, yo, if you want to win in the regular season, or not even that. No, it wasn't that. It was, if you want the guy with the better stats, you go with LeBron. But if you're trying to win, you go with Jason Tatum. Oh my God, bro, fuck. You go with Kobe Bryant. Jesus Christ, man. I get the two confused. I don't know. But yeah, if you want the better stats, you go with LeBron. But if you want to win a championship, you go with Jason Tatum. And it reminds me of that because that's kind of what the conversation is between Luka and Jason Tatum, right? Luka is the dude who's putting up the better numbers. Luka is the guy who you can argue is more valuable to his team than the other one because the other one has more help than the other one, right? But Jason Tatum, despite not having a ring yet, is the guy who has had way more postseason success, is the guy who has made it to the finals, and is the guy currently who is on the better team and is leading the best team in the league. So it really reminds me of what the conversation was between LeBron and Kobe in like 2008, 2009, 2010. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know how that panned out, but I don't know, just a calm little parallel that I've been seeing.
We got to see these two square off, and in a weird way, it sort of feels like both won the argument. The Mavs opened the game with a high pick and roll, and it was clear that Porzingis would be in deep drop coverage, which Luka uses to his advantage by playing the in-between game and slowly working his way to the rim. With Kristaps in a drop, that means the pick and pop is easily accessible. This time it's Kyrie with the ball, and he hits PJ Washington, who's wide open up top, but that three just rims out. Deep drop coverage also means that Kyrie can get to the mid-range pretty much whenever he wants.
Come on, Kristaps.
He sidesteps into space near the elbow, creating a great look that once again doesn't drop. If you're starting to sense a theme, yeah, the Mavs were missing a ton of open looks. Luka puts the defense in rotation with a beautiful skip pass,
gotta pay attention,
and Washington could shoot this. He instead chooses to attack the closeout and create an even better opportunity on a wide-open Kyrie 3. Non-Luka Mavs shot 2 of 10 from outside in the first quarter. Not exactly ideal. As a result, he decided to take matters into...
I think in matchups like this, it's very important to really analyze if a certain team is getting the looks that they want. Because I think there's a difference between a team not getting the looks that they want and a team getting the looks that they want and just missing them. If they're getting the looks that they want and they're just missing them, I think in a 7-game series, not to say that this is a finals preview, but, you know, I feel like if they were to match up in a 7-game series, like, it's much closer than the scoreboard and the result of this specific game it is seen. But if it's a case of they're just not getting the looks that they want whatsoever, that's when it's a little bit of a red flag. But even then, like, you can make adjustments throughout the course of a game, throughout the course of a series, so.
His own hands. First, it was with an open side post-up against Derek White, backing his way in before turning over his right shoulder for a fadeaway off the glass. Next time down, it's a perimeter isolation in early offense. He threatens a drive before pulling back into a 3, and he just so happens to be feeling it.
That boy was nasty.
The vast amount of different ways in which he can create offense is absurd. This one starts with a high pick and roll, where he's still being played in drop coverage. and instead of playing in between, he fakes a drive into another step back, creating a ton of space for an outside jumper. Of course, as soon as he did drive and the Celtics threw an extra defender at him, he found the open man. But like I said, his teammates were not able to capitalize.
This is my thing with like current offenses and that whole argument. Like this play right here, right? High pick and roll with PJ Washington. How do you want to guard this, right? Because as the defense, you have a couple options here, right? You can either double Luka. Now you're leaving PJ Washington wide open. And this is a guy who could stretch the floor, hit a jump shot, or roll to the rim, right? You can either go help on PJ Washington and leave Luka open, right? And now you leave Luka open. You can try to switch it, and now you have slow-footed Kristaps Porzingis on Luka. Or you can have Derek White to, you know what I'm saying, just go over the screen, Kristaps stay on your man. But now, because of the pick, now Derek White is going to be behind him, and Derek White is not going to be in proper position to guard Luka. You know what I'm saying? When you have these playmakers, these initiators that can drive to the rim, shoot off the dribble, shoot a three, shoot a mid-range, just like, what are you supposed to do? And that's just not Luka. You know, Trae Young has those same advantages. Tyrese Halliburton has those same advantages. Hell, even Jason Tatum, he's not even a guard, has those same advantages. LeBron, like, there's a lot of perimeter threats out there that have these same advantages. So, I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like, we try to look at the rules. I even seen Gilbert Arenas talking about, man, it's the Europeans that really changed this shit, man. Like, okay. But it's just like, the game has evolved, and the skill sets have been so over-optimized to the point where, like, what do you do outside of just changing what basketball is? You know, I don't know.
Where he's still being played in drop coverage, and instead of playing in between, he fakes a drive into another step back, creating a ton of space for an outside jumper. Of course, as soon as he did drive and the Celtics threw an extra defender at him, he found the open man. But like I said, his teammates were not able to capitalize. It also doesn't help that on the other side of things, Boston was busy showing exactly why they're the league's #1 offense. First, you've got some two-man game between Jrue Holiday and Porzingis, which leaves the 7'3" sniper with a quality look from deep. Anyone in their starting five is capable of handling the ball in these actions. This time it's Derek White who applies some pressure before hitting Kristaps on a pop, and there's just no way to contest that release. On this next one, it's Jason Tatum who initiates. He starts a drive before hitting the pop, but this time a third defender comes over to take away that space. So instead of shooting, he swings it to who else but Derek White for an open three. While Porzingis tends to prefer the pop, he can also screen and roll. With White as the ball handler, I want you to focus on how much space they have. 3 high-level shooters surround them, so the Mavs can't really bring much extra help.
I think that's the important thing to understand about the Celtics offense, is that it primarily works because of the personnel. And even the last couple of years, it's been the same thing. Like, if we didn't have the amount of sharpshooters that we got from the outside, this offense would not work. But because of the fact that we have all of these perimeter threats who are capable of shooting 40% from 3 on any given night, this type of offense works. It does get very stagnant, but because of the fact that your personnel on average shoots 38 to 40% from 3, that's why it works.
The overall point I'm trying to make is that quite literally every single player in the rotation can both handle the ball and knock down shots. In transition, you've got White getting downhill and kicking it out to Holiday for a moving corner 3.
Yo, shout out to Jrue too, bro. Cause I wasn't expecting this from Jrue Holiday this season. And if anything, with him being effectively a 5th option on the team, I did not see him being this effective. But Jrue Holiday is shooting 45% from 3. 45% from three. Now, mind you, this because my thing with Jrue Holiday is I know he's had seasons of shooting 40% from three, but I've always considered him a very inconsistent shooter. You know, maybe that's just a playoff thing, and yeah, that's definitely a playoff thing. But 45% from Jrue, I did not expect that. And I think there's a stat out there that says like he's shooting 60% from the corners. So you're telling me we got PJ Tucker, both offensively and defensively, who can handle the rock and create his own shot? Like, we found our PJ Tucker, chat. We found perfect PJ Tucker. Supreme PJ Tucker, bro.
Oh, and by the way, Jrue is shooting 68% on corner threes this season. So if your defense lets him catch the ball in that spot without a smothering contest,
that was the stat I was looking
better
for.
get to praying. Another thing you'll see with the Celtics is that they are a walking matchup problem. You obviously don't want Luka defending Brown in isolation, but by clearing an entire side of the floor and spacing those other four shooters, they don't really have anyone who can step over and help. This time it's Kyrie who has to defend Brown, and he attacks the middle where the Mavs do send help, and all that does is leave Porzingis open for his third three-pointer. He had 13 first quarter points, and he himself is a big-time mismatch, because in addition to the shooting, he's a great scorer in the low post. Here he fumbles the first attempt, but easily puts it back up. At one point, the Mavs actually tried throwing out a zone, and the Celtics have no shortage of ways to break it. This time they go to Jrue in the middle, with Kristaps spacing up top, and a second big, Al Horford, in the dunker spot, leaving Holiday with room to attack Luka one-on-one. And just a possession later, they put both of their bigs in the corners, as they're both shooters, with two guards spaced deep on the wings.
This gotta be the year, man. Oh my God, this gotta be the year, bro. I swear to God, if we don't win no championship this year. Now, I will say I seen Denver versus LA last night, and Denver is so nice, bro. Denver is so consistent, and now that they're proving that they can win a championship, it's like, man, them guys in Denver. But, this gotta be the year, bro, please.
Leaving Jaylen Brown with a ton of room to operate as he gets to a mid-range jumper. Boston checked every single box offensively in this quarter. They had 10 assists to the Mavericks 2, shot 7 of 13 from 3, and had an offensive rating of 131. All while their best player didn't even make a single shot. Do you know how ridiculous that is? So despite Luka going on an absolute tear of 16 points on 60% shooting in just 8 minutes, Boston was heading into the second with a 6-point lead. From there, Luka continued to do his thing. It started with one of those open side isolations as he attacks the smaller Pritchard for a bucket. But for the most part, he was surgically picking apart Boston's coverages as a ball handler in the pick and roll.
Hey, Luka did his best, bro. Luka did his best. Trust me.
On this one, you're going to see Holiday show to the ball for just a brief moment, which is all it takes for him to hit Lively for a big-time dunk. When Kristaps checked in, instead of dropping back, they had him coming out in a hedge, this time creating a small window to shovel in an absolutely ridiculous dime. Here's another example. He comes off a screen, Kristaps is there to meet him early, and instead of making a quick find, he takes an extra dribble as he pulls back to create a passing angle over the top. After about 8 minutes of this, Luka sat down, and right away you could see the difference in the quality of shots Dallas was getting. He was only out for 2 minutes,
that was a good example,
but in that time the Mavs scored once, on a pretty botched possession where Exum floats it off glass for 2. When Luka checked back in, it was right back to cooking. With Porzingis switched onto him, he attacks one-on-one and gets...
Now, I will say there's an egregious example of carrying by Jaylen Brown in this game, and I saw it live, and I'm like, yo, no way they're not calling that, bro. That's something I want to pay attention in these highlights. How much of these motherfuckers? Because it was, I ain't gonna lie, bro, it was so blatant. It was insane. When I tell you, I seen Jaylen Brown at the half court go like this, and paused it for like a calm second too, and went back, and did it again. It was bad, bro. It was bad, bro.
It's to that signature step back 3. And in the closing seconds, he makes a full court chest pass right on the money to create some more easy offense for his teammates. The Mavs had a 125 offensive rating in Luka's 10-second quarter minutes as he recorded 7 points and 6 assists on 60% shooting. But it's like no matter what he does or how perfectly he plays offensively, as a team they're simply outgunned by that Boston offense. As a unit, they continue to torch the Mavs, and everything I said about quarter number 1 applies. The transition game, the outside shooting, the screening actions with no shortage of ball handlers. The only real difference was that this time around they added the wrinkle of running some mid-post isolations for Jason Tatum. Again, you see the space. Dallas is forced to leave.
And we need these two, bro. Can we stop playing Jason Tatum like, I'm not gonna like he's Paul George. Like, he's not a Paul George level shooter, bro. I'm sorry, right? Jason Tatum operates the best when he's in the mid-range, and when he's attacking the rim, which is crazy to say if I were to tell you that in 2019 or 2020. But Jason Tatum operates the best in the mid-range and when he's attacking the rim. Now, if his shot is falling, he is literally the best scorer in the game to me. Because how the fuck do you stop a 6'10" dude with a handle who could attack the rim, have a post game in the mid-range, is a matchup nightmare a lot of times, and is hitting pull-up threes? How the fuck do you stop that? But yeah, we need more of this. We need more of this right here.
In single coverage because everyone else is a threat to make plays, and he actually went on a mini flurry, scoring 9 straight points for the Celtics. All that's to say, despite Luka having 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists on 70% true shooting at halftime, Dallas still found themselves trailing by 7. Most of the third quarter felt like a back and forth. You had the Celtics, of course, doing Celtics things, and Tatum really started to heat up from 3, isolating from a standstill and just rising right over PJ Washington.
Now, if you lie to me and tell me what that don't look like, okay.
On the other side, Luka continued to dissect them.
Also, happy birthday, Jason. Happy birthday, Jason. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday.
As a playmaker. This time it's one of those post-ups, and as he spins into what looks like a jumper, he instead throws a no-look pass to Washington for a high-quality jumper. Just like as a scorer, the versatility in Luka's passing is just off the charts. Here's one in transition where he stares to the left side of the court to move Tatum before bouncing it to a running Kyrie.
That was one of the nastiest passes I've ever seen, bro. Watch this. Because I'm literally watching this play break down as Hoovenue's talking about it, and I forgot what he did. I literally forgot what he did. And I'm like, damn, that's a nasty-ass pass, bro. This is what a no-look pass should be, bro. This is what a no-look pass should be. A no-look pass should be you looking like you're about to make one pass when you're actually going to make another. Not these Kyle Kuzma-ass no-look passes, bro. Y'all remember those no-look passes Kyle Kuzma was throwing last year, bro? Not that shit, bro.
Move Tatum before bouncing it to a running Kyrie for a free bucket. Boston really couldn't stop him from getting the ball to an open guy every time down the floor. This one's a classic drive-in kick that leaves Exum with a practice jumper, only to get all air. Reminiscent of the first, this is when Luka tried to take matters into his own hands as a one-on-one scorer. Only one problem, that step-back 3 stopped falling. So even though he was creating space, and these are good looks, with him missing, things started to look not so good for the Mavs. Luckily, Kyrie finally decided to show up right on time and started making plays. And as a team, they did a very good job of winning the possession game, grabbing multiple offensive rebounds without turning the ball over once. So they were still producing good offense, at one point even cutting the lead down to 2. With that said, it didn't matter what the Mavs did because the Celtics, in this case Jason Tatum, always had an answer. He had 16 third quarter points on 90% true shooting, and those buckets came in a variety of ways. You've got one of those mid-post isolations against a smaller defender.
What you gonna do?
A double comes from the baseline, so he attacks the middle and easily gets to a floater. Then when it's a bigger Maxi Kleba switched onto him, he's gonna take it outside, creating some space with an exaggerated sidestep as he fires off his 4th 3 of the quarter. A couple chaotic possessions later, we were looking at a 12-point game.
Yeah, buddy.
Not yet a blowout, but continuing to build that lead with each passing quarter. And when we arrived in the fourth, that's when it became very clear that this was not at all an even match. The Celtics blew the game wide open. Everyone was getting involved, making plays, making shots. I mean, this was Boston at their best. On the other end, it truly felt like Luka was playing 1 versus 5 at times.
But he is.
He's still getting whatever he wants as a
Dirty, though. Dirty.
scorer and creating open shots for teammates. But those teammates shot 5 of 14, including 0 of 3 from 3 in the quarter. Just a complete disaster. And by the time all 48 minutes were up, we were looking at a near 30-point win for the Celtics, even though it felt close for most of the game. Matchups like these always make one thing very clear. A lot of people want basketball to be about the individual. It's fascinating to have MVP or GOAT debates, which have become a huge driving factor in sports media. But in reality, sometimes one individual can do everything possible and still come up short. Luka had 37, 12, and 11 on 65% true shooting while only turning the ball over twice. Yet the Mavs still had just a measly 110 offensive rating because of everyone else's struggles.
Hey, bro, like I said in my last video, these are my very favorite games. Games where I can just sit back, relax, and enjoy both sides of the court. Because, you know, when I'm watching this game, I want to see Luka go off. But at the same time, I want to see my team win. So if we can come up with a compromise of Luka going off and my team winning in this fashion, hey, you get the best of both worlds, Hannah Montana.
Kyrie was 9 of 23, PJ Washington 7 of 16, and the team as a whole outside of Luka shot a putrid 6 of 25, or 24% from 3. On the other side of things, you have a Celtics team that's putting together a season only rivaled by the greatest teams ever. 3 guys with at least 24 points, 7 in double digits, 21 of 43 from 3 as a team, not only surviving the Luka surge, but completely dominating on both ends of the floor. They've now won 10 games in a row. On paper.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, bro. I've been trying so hard to be conservative with this team. All right, I've been trying so hard to not get my homer in me when it comes to talking about this team, bro. But as closer and closer we get to the playoffs, and as dominant as this team is looking, as we get closer to that damn 70 game mark. It's about to be nasty in the playoffs. That's all I gotta say, y'all. It's about to be nasty in the playoffs, and y'all better pray to Lord Jesus that this team doesn't win a championship. Because if y'all think I'm toxic now, if y'all think Jason Tatum gonna go on a nasty press run, woo, y'all about to see me go crazy. I'm about to be on Causeway Street. I'm about to be on Causeway Street with it, bro. God.
Factor in sports media.
Oh, shit.
But the greatest teams ever. 3 guys with at least 24 points, 7 in double digits, 21 of 43 from 3 as a team, not only surviving the Luka surge, but completely dominating on both ends of the floor. They've now won 10 games in a row, on pace to finish the season with a record of 65 and 17. And this game against the Mavs was just any other night in this tour de force of a season. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe.
I'll definitely drop a like. Shout to my guy. Oh, I'm not subscribing. What am I doing? Like and subscribe, bro. Shout out to Hoop Venue for the video. Listen, man. Listen. This Celtics team is scary. This Celtics team is extremely scary. I'm excited to see what this team is actually capable of. And as regarding to this specific matchup, though, like you said, hey, man, the better team always wins, man. We've seen this story before. It's been a thing since the 60s with even like Wilt and Bill Russell. It's been a thing lately when LeBron went up against them Warriors. The better team always wins. And I understand MVP discussions can be fun. specifically with JT going on his little press run and taking over Luka. Like, yeah, we can focus on all these MVP discussions. And y'all can crack all the jokes y'all want about Jason Tatum to me, but I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. Jason Tatum is the leader of my squad. I am happy that he's the leader of my squad, and I wouldn't want anyone else to be the leader of my squad, bro, because I'm a Celtics fan, and he is getting the job done, buddy. I ain't gonna lie. That's all I need, bro. That's all I need. Y'all want to poke fun about the MVP case, this, that, and all of that. I'm a Celtics fan. I care about the team's success. You know, I think everyone wants to talk about individuals and your favorite players are fraud, this, that, and the third. Hey, listen, if JT can make it work, that's better for me. But at the end of the day, I'm a Celtics fan. And I love what I'm seeing from this team as a whole because I'm a fan of the team sport and the team game that this team is playing. Once again, shout out to Hoop Venny for the video. And I'm out, man. Peace.